Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Once a part of the family, always part of the family. Chicago Fire's Eamonn Walker is open to an extended return. Wallace Bowden has only been gone from Chicago Fire for less than a season, but the fan-favorite character has been sorely missed since his departure in the Season 12 finale. While Chief Dom Pascal, Dermot Mulroney, has stepped into Bowden's former role, many fans feel he hasn't quite filled the void left by the beloved former chief. Thankfully, Bowden will return in tonight's episode, Season 13, Episode 18, Post-Mortem, with Eamonn Walker returning to reprise the role. While the fans will appreciate this return, the longing for more Bowden remains, with some fans wishing his return could be more permanent rather than a single episode guest appearance. Those fans will be pleased to learn that Walker is open to featuring in the show for as much as the producers want him. Once a part of the family, always a part of the family, Walker shared in a recent interview with Screen Rant, previewing his much-anticipated return to the procedural series. The actor then went on to express enthusiasm about future appearances in the series, adding, "If they write another episode, I will come and do it. One of my favorite things about this place of work is they're always there. They're always there for each other. And we've held each other up over many, many years. And so yeah, once a part of the family, always part of the family." Lack of intent from an actor is often what keeps fan-favorite characters from making a return, but that's clearly not the case here. Walker had originally asked to step back from a regular role, opting instead for a recurring presence. And now, with Post-Mortem marking his comeback, it seems this won't be a one-off appearance, but the beginning of a more consistent presence on Chicago Fire. Despite his eagerness to return to Chicago Fire, Walker faced a few challenges in fully stepping back into the role of Wallace Bowden, particularly in recapturing the hoarse voice that is one of the character's signature features. Walker revealed he turned to his favorite voice coach for support, and before sensing right into character. "So the first week out, I had this thought, how do I get Bowden's voice back? So I called up Tanara Marshall, who is my voice coach in Chicago, and I was like, I need 3 days with you to get Bowden's voice back. I can work on the physicality later, but let's get his voice back. That'll be the start of the journey." Walker also spoke fondly about the warm welcome he received on set, describing the emotional experience of reuniting with the crew. So seeing her, after working with her on every single episode for all of those episodes, was amazing in and of itself. And then I went into costumes and saw those guys, the whole costume department, and then the journey began. I put the costumes on, and I had his voice, and then Bowden was back. It was fantastic to be back with the people I love, and who love me back, and the welcoming was amazing. They have a very, very special place in my heart. Firehouse 51 might be a fictional station, but the bonds forged there are as real as the Chicago skyline. And for fans of NBC's Chicago Fire, few figures have left a deeper impression than Chief Wallace Bowden, the calm, commanding, and compassionate leader who anchored the crew through everything from infernos to heartbreaks. Now, in a twist of fate that's giving fans something to smile about, Eamonn Walker, who brought Bowden to life for over a decade, is open to making an extended return to the series. "I never left the family," Walker recently said during a rare interview in his native London. "Once you're part of Chicago Fire, you're always part of it. It lives in your bones." Walker's words carry the kind of weight only a true chief can deliver. After all, it was his character who often reminded the firefighters that being part of 51 wasn't just a job, it was a calling. His recent exit from full-time status was bittersweet. The writers gave Bowden a dignified departure, promoting him to deputy commissioner and ushering in a new chapter for both him and the firehouse. But for viewers, saying goodbye felt premature. And it turns out the goodbye might not be forever. The return of a legend? Well, Walker has taken time to enjoy the fruits of his career and reconnect with projects across the pond. He remains in close contact with the Chicago Fire team. Showrunner Andrea Newman has hinted that Bowden's story is far from over, fueling rumors that the door is wide open for Walker's return, not just for a cameo, but for a more substantial arc. "It has to make sense," Walker said thoughtfully. "I'm not interested in popping in just to wave at the camera. If Bowden comes back, it's got to be because the firehouse needs him, and because there's a story worth telling." That approach echoes the integrity of the character he played. Bowden was never flashy. He wasn't the one diving headfirst into fireballs or throwing punches at corrupt officials. But his strength was quiet and unshakable. His loyalty, his moral compass, and his mentorship of younger firefighters, especially Casey, Severide, and Kidd, made him the beating heart of Firehouse 51. What could bring him back? As fans speculate about potential storylines, several intriguing possibilities come to mind. One popular theory is that Bowden could be called back into action to help guide the next generation, especially as Severide continues to balance his field work with leadership, and Kidd cements her role as one of the house's strongest lieutenants. Another possibility: trouble in the upper ranks. With Bowden now in the bureaucracy-heavy world of the commissioner's office, there's fertile ground for a political firestorm, something only he could quell. What if corruption or mismanagement in the department threatens Firehouse 51, and the only one with the credibility to defend them is their former chief? "I'd be excited to see Bowden not just returning to the firehouse," Walker said, "but fighting to protect it from a whole new level." Sometimes the biggest fires don't come from flames. They come from the system. Fans would certainly rally behind a storyline like that. After all, Chicago Fire has always excelled when it balances explosive action with deeply human drama. Seeing Bowden suit up, not just in turnout gear but in moral armor, could be exactly what the show needs as it enters its next phase. Reuniting with the crew. For the cast, the idea of Walker's return is more than just welcome. It's personal. Taylor Kinney, Severide, who has shared countless pivotal scenes with Walker, recently said, "Working with Eamonn is like standing next to a mountain. You feel grounded just being in his presence." Kara Kilmer, whose character Sylvie Brett had several tender exchanges with Bowden over the years, echoed that sentiment. "He's the glue. Even when he's not in the room, Bowden's spirit guides us." Walker himself admits that leaving the show full-time was an emotional decision. "There were days I would stand in that firehouse set and look around, realizing how much of my life had been spent in that uniform. Saying goodbye wasn't easy. But it wasn't a clean break. He's still part of the Chicago Fire group chats. He still calls David Eggenberg, Herman, brother. And yes, he still keeps Bowden's boots by the door, just in case." More than a TV show. It's not lost on Walker how Chicago Fire has impacted viewers. Over the years, countless firefighters have reached out to thank him for portraying their profession with dignity. Families have written to say that Bowden reminded them of their real-life heroes. For Walker, that connection goes beyond acting. "This show has been a love letter to first responders," he said. "If I can keep being a part of that message, whether it's once a season or once a week, I'm in." Walker's openness to an extended return is more than a headline. It's a testament to the legacy he's built. In an era where TV characters often come and go, Chief Bowden stands as a symbol of consistency, leadership, and quiet strength. And in today's world, those are qualities worth revisiting. The legacy continues. NBC has yet to confirm the details of any future appearances by Walker, but one thing is certain. Firehouse 51 isn't done with Chief Bowden. Whether he returns to save the day, offer wisdom in a crisis, or simply check in with his beloved crew, his presence will be felt and cherished. As Walker himself put it best, once a part of the family, always part of the family. And in the world of Chicago Fire, family is forever.